Welcome back to this week's Silver Edition. I'm Xavier, and today I'm here with Corey, David, and Ethan, and they're here to tell us about their company, Cut the Deck Creative. So guys, why don't you tell us a bit about your backstory?
Well, I'm Corey. I used to be part of the AV club here, and I got my real start in media through film and also graphic design.
Awesome. I'm David. I also got my start in the AV club. We all joined our freshman year. I kind of was on the director side of things and like the floor director, and then kind of was pushing some live production things.
Yeah. And I'm Ethan. I got my start in the AV club. Actually, Corey was a youth apprentice. David and I were leaders throughout the years. So, we got really involved with the AV club and made it, what we wanted and had a lot of fun with it.
That's great. How'd you get the idea to start the company?
So during quarantine, we all kind of had a lot of time to think, as you know. So I kind of got the idea, well, I didn't get the idea, actually. Will, the leader of the AV club, was always kind of talking that we should start our own creative agency or production company, something like that. So I decided, you know what, we might as well. So that's what we did.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of fell into my lap. You guys definitely put in a lot of the front work, and I was fortunate enough to hop on and kind of leech on. You guys definitely carried that. So
it was a fun process because it started with something as basic as trying to find a name, let alone the services we're going to offer. We do a lot of video stuff, music videos, a lot of branding, graphic design. So we work with a lot of really cool people, and it was just it really fell into all of our laps.
Yeah.
It was just an opportunity to be had.
How did AV help you outside of media production?
Outside of, the obvious media production, AV definitely helped build the connections that I have. I mean, I didn't meet these two, but I definitely got closer with these two, and I met a lot of my friends now and got close with them through AV Club. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kind of expand off that, I feel like the bonds that you create will last a long time, and I think AV teaches you AV stuff, but also like how to communicate and how to lead others, and also how to apply yourself.
Yeah, that's a big thing is one, applying yourself, but two, communicating. There was a lot of planning that goes into events through the AV club, a lot of planning that goes to working with crews and stuff like that. So it was really helpful, especially in the media world, being able to accurately communicate exactly what is going on.
True. Yeah. To piggyback off that, it's also like the type of communication. So communicating with colleagues, you could say, and also classmates, but then working with teachers and administrators and your advisors to try to all work together to make something more than yourselves.
Yeah. Why did you guys make a short film?
Well, I'm a filmmaker. I felt like usually as a filmmaker you got to make films. So I kind of did that. I wrote the script, and then we kind of got to work producing it, and then everything kind of fell into place, and we turned out with something that we're all pretty proud of.
Yeah, and to go off of that, we had a whole screening for it, and we had a ton of people show up to watch a 22-minute short film that we spent hundreds of hours on in total. So it's really cool to see all the things that we've learned from our freshman year in the AV club being applied into a big screening sense.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just the same way of why we make shows and why we do announcements is just learning. So if you put yourself into something that you haven't done before, then you're going to learn more than you will ever have if you do something you've just done. So
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, try.
How did AV Club lead you into creating the company?
Well, an AV Club is the place where we kind of built all our skills. So it only felt right that we take those skills and morph it into something that can help us through our lives outside of high school. So that's kind of what we did.
Yeah, we had a lot of people in our high school AV club years mentor us and show us how to develop those skills and apply them into the world. And for example, we had presenters come in and show us what they did with their career out of high school, and especially seeing a lot of people from this school do something along the lines of a creative company and applying what they learned in this club to something outside of the school is really cool.
Yeah, I guess I just felt like I had something missing as well, because I mean, you both went into your own endeavors kind of right out of high school, or even in high school and started applying it, and I kind of went on my own, like, I'm just going to go to college, you know, and kind of focus on what I want to do eventually, and then I just, like, felt this huge part of me that was missing, so I want to go back as well. So.
Did you guys get the most out of AV?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, our senior year was the year that, you know, things went to quarantine, and that's when, you know, COVID started. So even though it was cut off slightly, I feel like we got to work with a lot of really cool people. We got to do a lot of really cool things. We got a lot of really cool mentors and a lot of really cool information.
Sure. Yeah, I thought. Well, I also just felt like I got the most out of it because you want to. I know that just from seeing set and everything, that advisors and even like your classmates want the most out of like you, and they're willing to give you everything you want to succeed. So it's all about like what you want to do. So.
Yeah, this club is a big, like, you put in what you want to get out of it. So it's we put in a lot of work into it, and you know, we're doing pretty good with what we learned.
Did anyone or anything give you a big influence in making your company, or?
Mr.
Will?
Nimmo.
Yeah.
Mr.
Will
Nimmo.
Nimmo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a guy.
Huge influence. You know, there are a lot of other influences. We've worked with a lot of really cool people, like I said earlier. So just being able to take that to the next level.
And Justin Janess also.
Can't forget Justin.
Can never forget Justin.
Also guided us, but I think that a lot of teachers or everything will also kind of encourage you. I don't know, I was kind of resilient, like starting your own company and everything, but really kind of listening to them because they know, and like they've been in the real world, so kind of taking it and really running with their advice is also important.
Most definitely.
How did you come up with the name and brand?
That's all Corey.
Go ahead.
Well, okay. Playing cards are pretty cool. And kind of what we want to do with our company is be more than just a creative agency. You know, we want to be a production company, a film studio, and playing cards kind of have all that kind of difference and diversity in what it offers. And also you can do a lot of things with cards. So I wanted the brand to kind of reflect that. And then we kind of just brainstormed a ton of stuff kind of involving playing cards. And then we landed on Cut the Deck.
Yeah, you know, a deck of cards has 52 cards in it. And, you know, you look into our deck of cards, you'll find 52 different options of whatever you can think of at your disposal.
Or whatever suits you, or jack. I feel like cards
Jack
just,
of all trades,
yeah,
you know,
cards just offer
there's
a
so
lot.
much you can play with it.
Yeah.
How long did that entire process take to come up with the name?
October 2020 to finalizing it like March 2021.
Even longer if you're kind of like graphic, like fully solidified
Yeah.
brand. I mean, we only signed paperwork until like May.
Yeah, so it's probably around like June 2021 that we finally got up and going. So probably a good 8 months, 9 months, 10 months just for the name and branding.
I think the reason why it kind of took a while too is because like you guys thought about the idea, or especially when I kind of hopped on board, is you don't want to really rebrand as soon as your company comes out. So making sure that this is something that you kind of want to stick with was important for all of us, I believe. So.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And it was also just like a slow moving train. We had school, and it just wasn't something that we completely embarked on. And then the spring semester came and things started to open up, and as soon as summer hit, we were full grind time into Cut the Deck.
Where do you guys plan to take it from here?
Whew.
Atlanta, LA, you know.
Yeah, long term. I guess it doesn't. We don't know. I know. Yeah.
That's a big part of it, is we don't really know. Like creative stuff is, you know, like I said with the club, it's what you make of it. You can either be really good because you put a lot of heart, a lot of will, a lot of fun into it, just having fun with it. But if you don't take it seriously and you don't have that fun, that grit, that grind, you know, it's really just what you make of it.
Yeah, I guess another thing is, since an advantage to like starting your own company is we can kind of just decide as we go. So rather than going into a job and kind of working of what that company's job description is, if we have a client or anything or want to make a short film, we can just text in our group chat and be like, should we do this? And we can kind of make those decisions as we go. And that also gives us an advantage to do whatever we want. So
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, we kind of have a lot of very big ideas where, you know, we change the world, all that, you know, normal stuff. So, yeah.
but film, I think that's kind of ultimately where we want to go.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
film.
Most
I think
definitely.
that stories are the biggest thing in the world, and that's kind of like, I don't know. That's what I think
yeah,
about.
no, kind of piggybacking off of the, changing the world kind of aspect is, everyone has a story to tell, and we kind of just take that and we capture it so everyone can hear that story.
Is there anything big you guys are working on right now?
Oh, shh.
Ooh,
It's hush hush right
yeah,
Yeah.
we can't.
We can give
Okay.
top secret.
we can give a little hint.
Little hint.
We're just
Later
gonna
this year?
start. Well, we have another short film cooking up, and that will probably be shot this summer. And then we're also Corey is writing a bigger feature film that eventually will be out. But I mean, we're talking like years and years.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, don't hold your breath. We're not liable for any pass outs. So.
Then we've also we've got some live production stuff coming up. Some very soon to come live production, which should be very cool. So, getting back into the live production world.
Yeah, I guess anything that's just like pushing what we're currently doing. We always
Yeah.
want to try new things and see how big we can go with the time that we have and stuff like that. So.
What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone who just wants to get in the media, who wants to get into the media field?
Stop thinking and start doing.
Do it.
I think you got to just kind of make things, see what works, see what doesn't. Most of the time, you're going to see what doesn't work, and that's probably good because then you know not to do that. So you kind of just got to make things, do things, and kind of see what sticks.
Yeah, I guess my advice would be like confidence is key. It can kind of be scary, especially like sets can kind of get crazy or wacky, or opening a new file to start editing is scary. At least to me, that's something I'm struggling with. But confidence is key because you gotta trust yourself. Like ultimately, no matter how much help you get, it's up to you. Like your hands, your brain. So just trust.
Yeah, and going off of the thing of what Corey said, you just have to keep doing. Throughout high school, we did a lot of experiments. We did a lot of, just playing around with what we could make work. We did a lot of, things that we look back on now and we're not really proud of, but it was fun in the moment. We made some cool things, we made some fun things, and we really found out like where, just how to like take on those like just jumping into it kind of things. So.
Oh, one more thing I think is ask for help. I think that like the media world is based a lot on connections as well. And if you're in the club or if you're not and you're just looking, just ask around. People are willing to help you out. And I mean, if you help them, they're going to reciprocate that back. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming.
Well, thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Thank you, yeah. It's a good time.
That's it for this week's Silver Edition.